Hi, this is Suzanne in Ohio. I have a project share for you today, something I made for myself to solve a lot of problems, and then I thought this idea could materialize into quite the assortment. So, what I'm calling these are word plaques, and this is just my first attempt, so I hope to develop this idea into some more variations. But the first thing I did was take an old textile. It was already rotten in a couple corners, and I cut out the embroidery parts that were still nice. So that's fabric. And then I laid it on a thin piece of muslin and stitched around. And then I distressed the edges a little bit with distress ink. Let me see if I can get a picture of this for you. Okay, let's try autofocus. Wow, what a day with this camera. There we go. Okay, so I stitched all the way around, 2 rows, 1 zigzag, 1 straight, cut out the edge with scallop scissors, and then stained a little bit with, I think in this case it was wild honey, distress stain. So there you have those 3. So what I did was I made these with an intent in mind. I wanted to be able to use them for more than one purpose. So what I decided to do was to put the words on interchangeably or removable. So I wrote the words on a piece of fabric and laid it onto the original one. And then that way I can use this, I can put different words, or in some cases I can leave it plain. So I want to show you what all I did with this. First of all, I have these 3 here, and then I have this one. The gist of the story is, and that is removable. And then this one, large banner type shape. And then these words are removable. So I was having so much fun with this. Couple tries at first to decide how I wanted to put the words on there. So what I ended up doing was testing out my different fabrics to see which ones would work, and I wrote the words with colored ink pens as if they are stitched, and really it fools the eye, and you really do think it's a running stitch. So after I had these with the words on it, I decided to take all the words off. Well, oh wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I scanned each one of these as a separate image with the words on them, every one of them. And then I made a compilation page, and I'll show you what that looks like. I made this on my computer, just in a simple program, and I shrank and enlarged them. Boy, my lighting is not right, is it? I shrank and enlarged them to suit, the page. I wanted to fill up the page as much as I could because I use photo paper and I don't like to waste it. So there's a whole sheet of the ones with words on them, and then they can be cut out. Now I've already cut some of these out and used them, so I just did another video about some cluster embellishments that I was making, and 2 of them had these items on it. So I'll show these again in this video just so the ones that missed it can see it. And we'll get you going here. So there's one of them printed out in a tiny, tiny form and used as the feature element in this little cluster. So it has served its purpose already. Here was another cluster that I made, and this cluster has a miniature book on it. Now, if you're interested in these, watch my other video. But this little miniature book, I put on the front of it one of these little elements. Look how good they printed. The print still looks like it's stitched. You could reach down and touch all those fibers as if they're really real. So that's the first thing I've done with them. So the next thing I did was I took all the words off of them, and then I made a compilation page with nothing but plain ones. And I wanted that because you can either rubber stamp on it, you can cut out little chatter words, or little snippets from pages, magazines, anything you have, and then you might, you can just create your own words. It's kind of fun. So I'll show you what I did with that. So here's how I've used some of this stuff. So here's a little book I made, and I've just now barely started it. Oh, a transfer print osmosis with coffee, one of those, and terracotta pots. So I haven't finished embellishing this one yet, but this just gives you some idea what you could do with this. So here's some of the ones just cut out so that you can get an idea how they look. I cut it out. Okay, alrighty. I wish autofocus really was autofocus. Okay, the gist of the story. That's just a printed out, shrunk down from the original size. And on this one, I just cut out a snippet from chatter pages that I have and inked it and glued it on there. Oh, I put lines on that as if it's a journal card. And this one, the word friends. You can probably come up with so many ideas. This could keep you busy all day long. Dreamer. Loving life right now. Tell the story. Oh, I put a little butterfly on that one. Just a snippet from a greeting card. And think happy, be happy. Okay. So that's how I've used them. And when you think about the possibilities of how you could switch these around and use them in different ways, it's amazing. So maybe this will give you a jump off point for an idea of your own. If you come up with anything or an elaboration of what I've done, please contact me, leave me a message, and I'd like to go to your website or your YouTube video and see what you've done. That would be great. All right, thanks for watching.